Did you mastermind this crime? Were you the motivating force behind this happening? If not the motivating force, a motivating force.
I probably added fuel to the fire.
You wanted them dead. Tell me what you're thinking.
I wasn't thinking that I wasn't like mad at them or anything like that. I feel like it just happened.
You got tired of them bickering and said, just do it. Is that true? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. Okay. What have I got? Okay, so here's what I think is happening here, and I kind of really feel for Dr. Phil here because he's got 60 minutes to get something happening here. And look, I think the narrative that we want as an audience is the one that we see on TV in films, whereby she is going to crumble and start into an emotional rendition of why she did what she did and the emotions that were involved with that. So there's some kind of catharsis at the end of this. And she hasn't got that. She hasn't got that. She says herself, it just happened. And she tries to approximate some emotion to go with that, but it really isn't there. For her, the event comes, it comes right up close. She does the murders and then they're kind of over. And that was really kind of exciting. And now it's the next thing that's going on. There isn't any grand emotions around this. And I think what Dr. Phil has to kind of do is fill it in a bit for us as the audience and go, okay, so they were bickering and you'd had enough. And it's like, no, she doesn't seem to be saying that. She seems to be saying, no, it just happened. And I'll do my best to give you some kind of feeling to go with this, but I don't think she has it. So I totally feel for the entertainment of this situation, though, as Scott was just saying, it's an awful situation. But entertainment is always created around these awful situations because it's kind of useful. Forearmed or forewarned helps us. I mean, that's why we do this show with you all, because some of you will get some kind of forewarning, forearmed of stuff that might come your way. Hope it never does. In fact, in this case, this is so rare. You're never going to meet this kind of situation apart from watching it right now with us, so you don't need to worry too much about that. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one because I do think she shows her true face here. It starts off, she's walking through, and Dr. Phil does a pretty artful thing here. Yeah, you're right, whether there's time limit or whatever. He starts off with an outright accusation. You caused this. You did this. Then, well, no. Did you motivate them to do it? No. Were you one of the motivators? Now he's got her to admit something. And what he's doing is a cascading scale of guilt to at least get her to say something. And my assumption is he's going to build her back up to what she actually did. So he says, oh, then he got her to say, well, you did this. Well, then you take it the next step back up. And that's cascading confession. You work them down and you work them back. Now, could you give him bad information in there? Probably you could, but he's not. He's giving her everything he's got when she finally says something. And there is a crack in all this facade. That is a smile. If I have ever seen anything that creeps me the hell out, that would do it right there. Through all this stuff, no smile, but then kind of a little smile right in the middle of all that. She does then go into some blink rate increase at motivation. I was the fuel on the fire. And all of that stuff that you see in her face, those downsides and the raised brows, are about her to me. There's not a thing in here about the family. It's about Dr. Phil thinks I'm a bad person now, and my facade is cracked. He saw my smile, and that's what I got. Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, man. There's no denial. There's no strong, confident, positive denial here.
Whimper of denial.
Yeah. Tiny head shakes are super unusual. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen anything like this in anybody who's over the age of probably 8 do anything like this. So we are seeing some big time regression. So I think that smile occurs right after Phil says, "You wanted them dead."
You wanted them dead. Tell me what you're thinking.
And I think the smile may be suggestive of her desire to say, "I wanted something and I made it happen, and I did it. I got it done." Mm-hmm. I want you to watch how fast, after Dr. Phil says, "Is that true?"
You got tired of them bickering and said, "Just do it." Is that true?
Her face goes from an emotional girl who she's playing in that moment to a stone cold monster. You can see the shift happen right here on your phone, iPad, whatever screen we're watching. You can see that transformation right after he says, "Is that true?" Watch her face change. And that scared me. I was up here this morning at like 5 o'clock by myself. I had to go turn the lights on. That was a strange shift. And let's go with our final hallmark here. We already talked about the prone to impulsivity. When she says in this video, "It just happened." It just happened. That's all it was. So next is the need for stimulation and prone to boredom. So I think we're seeing this in her overall personality, how she grew up, and the way that she lived her life. Outside of these videos, you're seeing a lot of evidence of that too. So there's a whole lot of evidence here to support that a professional might be able to make some kind of diagnosis. I don't think any of us give a crap about any professional diagnosis. This is what we see. There's a book that tells you what to look at. Pretty basic. Mark?
No, I've been.
Yeah. Scott. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. This is another example, like we've seen the whole way. Her baseline is just shutting down at the top of that when he starts talking to her, and it's the more dangerous the question, the more silent she gets, the more she starts closing off and turning off. And this shows her guilt beyond a shadow of a doubt, to me anyway. As she said, I probably added fuel to the fire. Again, from your hallmark earlier, Chase, she's not accepting responsibility for what she did there. She was part of it, but she wasn't the mastermind or instigator of it. She comes on. And again, that's narcissistic behavior we tend to see in psychopaths. When he says, "Tell me what you're thinking."
Tell me what you're thinking.
I agree with you guys. I think she's trying to hold back that emotion, that she's almost giddy with it as it jumps out, as she would with those people she was with when it happened. "What'd you do?" And I did that. So I killed him or whatever. That's what I really believe that's what we're seeing there. It's not even duper's delight. It's just full on trying to hold back a smile. That's when I said, "Holy smokes." I was right at the very top. This is a monster that's sitting in there. And that's what that is. That's what she is. Being able to do that to her family and those little children like that, and having someone come in and do it, and she's outside and then watching the house burn too. Man, that's hardcore. So I think I agree with you guys. That's a dang monster we're looking at right there. No doubt about it. So that's what I got. Be good?
Did you mastermind this crime? Were you the motivating force behind this happening? If not the motivating force, a motivating force.
I probably added fuel to the fire.
You wanted them dead. Tell me what you're thinking.
I wasn't thinking that I wasn't like mad at them or anything like that. I feel like it just happened.
You got tired of them bickering and said, "Just do it." Is that true? I'm sorry?
Yes.
If you like this video, get the full body language breakdown and analysis on our main channel by clicking this video right here.